Welcome to the Claus Connect. My name is Shawn White, and today is August 3rd, 2026, and this is episode 10. We are going to have just a great guest tonight with us, and it's going to be a good show. It's going to be a good show for people that are new to the Claus community, and of course, the people that have been doing it a long time that we learn from. We appreciate you being here. Um, Tonight we are going to have a guest, Jim Barrette. He is from Canada and he's a great guy, and we're going to have a great conversation. So let's just ease into this a bit. It looks like we have, um, we'll say kudos to our audience, Mike, Kane, hello Kane, and Betsy. And it's slowly starting to build here, so this is pretty awesome. Dr. Bruce is here. Santa Jerry, hello. Hello, everyone. We are so happy you're here tonight. It's going to be a great show. We're going to be encouraging new Santas, I hope, tonight with some good information, too. Um, and talking to Jim about his journey that he has experienced so far. Some good stuff. So, Angela, tonight, if you could just take any questions and kind of post them for me, if you can heads up on that for me. Tonight, I am very happy to introduce Jim Barrette. I first met Jim last October in Midland at C.W. Howard. I think I've seen him before, but this is the first time we actually had talked. And a wonderful guy. Um, Tonight, one of my goals is to introduce him to this wonderful community we have, not only as a professional Santa, but as a genuinely good person for sure. Um, he's a good family guy, a great storyteller, and when I did meet him, we were laughing, and it was a great evening. There was a bunch of us going to dinner. So I would like to introduce Angela and say thank you for being a wonderful producer into TNL. So I don't want to ever miss that.
Thank you so much.
Girl, I appreciate you very much and everything you do for us. Um,
Thank you.
so much. So with that, though, I would like to introduce Jim now to the show.
All right.
Hello.
Hello, how are you?
Welcome to the Claus Connect. I'm
Thanks
so
for
happy
having
you're
me.
here.
I'm very excited to be here.
That's
Hello,
great.
Angela. It's nice to finally meet you too. I keep seeing you online, but now we can finally talk.
I know you came to many shows. I've noticed that you were there watching and and
Yeah,
contributing. So it's always
yeah, I definitely used TNL and some of the other things online to try and hone my skills and learn things that whatever I could.
that's wonderful. So tell us about you. Who
Well, my
is
name's
Jim?
Jim. I'm Jim Barrette. I'm from Canada, just outside of Windsor, Ontario, right across from Detroit, Michigan. 53 years old. I've been retired as I was an auto worker I've been retired almost 4 years now already. Very blessed. I got a beautiful wife, 21 years, a 19-year-old son, a 15-year-old daughter, and yeah, I do my thing. I got into this Santa thing. I'm enjoying that. It's this rabbit hole, as they call it, that I've sort of fallen into. Um, I also, in my spare time, I like to tinker a lot. I'm Mr. Fix It around here. I help out neighbors. I do anything I can. I enjoy classic cars. I have a classic car that I do shows with and stuff. And yeah,
What kind
just
of classic car? What is it?
it's a 1961 Chevy Impala uh,
Wow.
double top. Yeah,
Nice. What color?
it's silver.
Silver.
Yeah, yeah. It's called a resto rod. It was fully restored, and it's a low rider, so it's got big wheels. It sits on the ground. It's air ride.
Oh my
It's
goodness.
yeah, it's fun.
My dad had a
And
Chevy Impala when I was young. I remember.
yeah, well, that's what my dad got me into it, so
Very cool.
I come by it naturally.
That's
And
exciting.
yeah,
Um, Well, thank you for introducing yourself. You've been doing Santa for how long? Professionally, at
So
least?
this will be my third year.
Okay.
Professionally, I go by Santa Nicholas James.
Okay.
Facebook, that's how people can get to me. It's sort of Saint Nick and James, my name. So I just sort of put the two together,
Makes sense.
and my son's name's Nicholas. So
Okay. Okay.
yeah.
Um, Fabulous. So with that, we're going to pull this back just a little bit on the show, and I'm going to redirect us to something that I try to do every week, and it's a shared humanity. There is a judge in Michigan that does this in his courtroom. Every time he opens up the courtroom to the chat, he has song lyrics. He says the song lyrics, and then he has all the guests on the chat from all over the world try to figure out what that song is. So tonight I will um, say the lyrics here, and then we'll have Angela just kind of keep track of the song for us. And if you can guess, the audience can guess the song, the name, who sang it, and the year. We'll say, congratulations. There's no big prizes, but we just want everybody to be a part of this. That is the reason for doing this. So I will, let's get to my everything I have here. Oh, I lost my pages. Okay. Actually, Jim, do you want to say what the lyrics are this week? Did you get it on your paperwork?
I think I wrote it here. Yes. So when you get the choice to sit it out.
Okay, there it is. There it is. There it is. When you get the choice to sit it out or dance. If you know who sang that, please let us know and put it in the, thank you, Angela. Just put it in the comments. Does this song mean anything? Did you like this song without giving it away when you saw it?
Actually, I do like that song. Yeah, you know what? It's got a lot of meaning to it, and every time I've heard it, it's quite moving, the song, when you actually sit down and think about it. I think anybody in this world can take a piece of that song and put it to their own life.
Love it. And I do know that you go to a lot of concerts, it looks like.
Oh yeah, my wife's been dragging us to every concert this year.
I think I would like this lady. I love music and very cool.
Yeah,
Very
we've
cool.
had just an awesome time this summer. It's the kids are at that age; they still want to hang out with us, and they are loving it too. So we take them with us, and yeah, we've been hitting all the big ones this year. So it's been
Yeah,
fun.
yeah. Nice. Um, okay, let's go on to, I guess, let's start from the beginning. When did you decide to take a chance and be Santa? What happened in your life that led you to that?
Well, funny enough, like I always loved Christmas, but I'm actually known more as the Halloween guy. I'm the guy who does his yard up one end to the other, dresses all up, scares the kids, chases people with chainsaws, the fun stuff. And then 10 o'clock at night, the last kid's gone, the lights go down, everything goes straight back to the attic, and Christmas lights come out.
Wow.
And I'm November 1st, it's full tilt Christmas. So some people do one or the other, and I'm sort of, yeah, now I'm stuck in right in doing both full time now. Um, so I've always loved Christmas. It's always been a big thing to me. The whole idea of Santa has always just moved me. I guess is the easiest way to say it. I never saw myself as being Santa because I'm not the stereotypical, you know, older gentleman, maybe a little bigger, big white beard. Yeah, I have white beard, and I can grow a really nice beard. My wife doesn't want to be married to Santa, so um, so it it took some. I kept seeing a lot of people that portrayed it so wonderfully, especially when I had kids. That's when things really started changing for me. Um, it took on a whole different meaning. Seeing Santa, getting that picture, and going out and finding the authentic one, right?
Right.
Not just run of the mill. Like we would take off, we'd go hours away just to find that guy. And a few times we did. We found some amazing ones that just blew our mind. And they were real bearded Santas, beautiful, absolutely. Just it bring you to tears when they're holding your child, right?
Right.
And then one day I met Santa Bruce, and and or Dr. Bruce, it depends on how you know him. And he opened a whole new world to me that you can be Jim Barrette, and then you can go be Santa Claus, and then when that's done, you can go right back to being Jim Barrette. And he showed me, he proved that you can do it. He showed it authentically, and yeah, and that's where for me, um, seeing him and getting to know him and realizing that yeah, this is something I could do, and it, it's the kids, right? It's
Right.
you
Right.
see the joy, the look in their eyes, like they're all standing in line, they're all doing their thing. It's their turn. Okay, come on now. And here they come. And it's just like the eyes, right? And it's either they're staring at you or they're looking down, right? So it's so funny. And then, and as they start working their way up, it's the boots, it's the outfit, it's the belt, and then all of a sudden it's the face and the beard. And it's just the look on kids' faces and the way it makes not only them feel and their parents, you see it in their eyes, the way it makes me feel. It's there's nothing like it.
When
If you
I
could,
when I talk to you on the phone, because I don't know if a lot of people know, but I interview the people on the show beforehand so I can get to know you and find out um, what helped you form in your mind as a child what Santa was and what he looked like and um,
well, so when I was a kid, like I love, and I still do today, Miracle on 34th Street and the old classic cartoons. Rudolph, the year before without a Santa Claus. So funny enough, like in high school and college, people would make fun of me because I always had a beard. I've had a beard since I was growing a beard in grade 7, like, but it
really.
was red. It was red mustache, red beard. That's why I went white, right? So young.
Wow.
And so I looked like that guy on the young version of him, and people would make fun of me and say that, oh yeah, that's you, right? And okay, yeah, sure, thanks, right? um, but just that is, and it's not that's where I made my portrayal, but it's just that feeling, that magic, that like watching the original Miracle on 34th Street. um, if it doesn't move you, there's something wrong with you, because it's just the way that the little girl, the way she changes right during the movie.
Yeah.
um, how he doesn't do anything crazy, it's just being him. He's wearing a suit, not a red suit. He's and it's just, but
It's
just the way
him
he
because it is
interacts.
his like his soul, his character
Yes,
is what we
it's him.
yeah.
Like, I don't know, they could have never, I couldn't imagine them putting somebody else in that position for that movie. They redid it in the 90s or whatever, and it was a good movie, but I still expected a dinosaur to come out because of that man who played it. Like, he played it well, but just that original one from I think it was the 30s or whatever.
Right.
um, that feeling, and at the end when the canes in the corner in the house, it's just like, that's just, it doesn't matter how many times you watch it. It's just,
Yeah. May I suggest
it's
something
magic.
for you that I think is magical that you could do?
It's magic. Yeah.
If you had a red beard as a younger person and you have pictures of that, that would be something to put with a picture of you now as Santa to show children?
So I want to find exactly that. I'd like to find like 5-year-old me, because that's what I always say is that's where my portrayal comes from is
Yeah,
what does 5-year-old Jimmy Barrette want to see?
right.
And so I want to do that, and that's a good idea. Find
Yeah.
if I could find the problem was is I did a lot of years of goatee, so it was red, but it was just
Oh,
goatee.
okay, okay. Well, I tell you when I'm working with Jeff Wirtz, I've got pictures of him now, of course, but then I've got pictures of the cartoon character from the night before Christmas, or
Yes,
Santa's coming to town. I'm sorry, Santa's coming to town as a cartoon character with a red beard, and I show the children, especially the ones that have red hair, go
yeah,
crazy because
yeah,
I tell them how in love I am with the red
yeah,
hair and everything.
absolutely.
So very cool. Um, so your Christmases were like what when you were a child? What magical things? Tell me what it was like.
Well, it was always it changed over the years, but it was always Christmas Eve, mom and dad, me and my sister, eventually brother-in-law and children and my wife and stuff. My aunt and uncle, my godparents always were with us all through the year, every year. So especially when we were younger, we would go to bed, me and my sister, and within an hour or whatever, we'd wake up and the house has been transformed. There's Santa has come. My dad talked to him. My mom saw him. Whatever, right? And we would open presents because my aunt and uncle were just there for that night, right? So we would actually open presents on Christmas Eve,
Yeah.
and we did that year after year after year. And then it just turned, Christmas Day would be to the family, usually my dad's side, because it was always, he only had 5 brothers and sisters, where my mom had 13, which was a lot. Yeah.
Wow.
So you didn't get to see so many.
Right.
But my dad's side, it was always through the younger years was always the Christmas Day we got together there. And as things got older, the kids started coming. We still do Christmas Eve with mom and dad, my godparents. Although my uncle is no longer with us. I knew I'd do this.
That's okay. That's okay. This is that just means it's extra magical and wonderful, and you were blessed with that.
Yes.
Um,
Sorry. Okay.
that's okay. I will say what I'm thinking as I'm listening to you talk about this amazing upbringing and so loving and everything. Um, I don't know if you do this, but I do this when I'm with children. I sometimes put myself in the place of my childhood, like when I was a child, as I'm looking at them. What are they thinking of me right now?
Yes.
And
That is
do you
that
do
is
that?
100%.
Yeah.
That is my 100% what I do. Before I walk into, like, I do a few different events where there's 100, maybe 200 people, or sometimes it's just walking into an area where I'm gonna sit down, whatever. Um, I always think, what does 5-year-old me, what 5-year-old Jimmy want to see? What would I think Santa should do? What do I think Santa should be? And it doesn't mean he's got to be the perfect beard or the perfect suit, but he has to have the presence that makes that he looks at me.
Yeah.
I'm not more important enough for him to look at me, but he walks in and looks into my eyes. He waves to me, he says hi. Oh my God, it's good to see you again. How are you today? Right? Oh my God, my friends are here. Whatever, right? But it's looking into their eyes, just giving them that moment. And then the kid turns around. Oh my God, he looked at me. Oh my God, he remembers me. I don't remember them.
Yeah.
I think I
That's what
do.
when they're walking up to me, I'm looking at those. And if it would have been me as a little one, I would have been like, just please put your arm around me and just give
Yes.
me a hug and listen to me. Just listen to me and talk to me about stories. Tell
Yeah.
me about
Well,
you and your magic and what wonderful things happen with Santa Claus.
yes. Yeah. And that's the
So,
thing. That's something they can take away
yeah,
with them, hopefully stay with them.
yeah,
Like the kids grow up so darn fast. And
no
it's,
kidding.
there's two pieces. I always want to say that, I want to be the Santa that's magical for the kid, or portrays something that makes them believe, brings out their belief more. Maybe even adds a couple years to it. I don't care, whatever that is. And on the other end of it, um, I just I want to make sure that I'm vulnerable to their feelings. Um, I don't know. It's just
Well,
like I said, just being thinking of yourself, being vulnerable, being that kid again, thinking what they want to see here. Not every one of them needs the ho ho ho, because
no.
it's funny. I leave stuff, and I think to myself, did I even ho 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 today? Because and I find that it's starting to become natural,
Right.
that it's not, because once you start trying to push it, it
Yep.
gets a
I
little.
agree. I
And
agree.
sometimes you'll just be talking, and be like, "Oh my God, I don't, know," and it's just, you just roll with it, right? And you just
Yep.
keep moving along, and it just feels more natural. And just
Well, when the more you do the character, the more you become the character, the more homework you do about who you're becoming. It's part of that, and it just happens. I start speaking slower, and it's not as deep. I think a little bit higher,
yeah,
but I don't intentionally. It just starts happening. All these things. It's pretty wild.
yeah. I don't try to change
Uh-uh.
my voice, and that's the thing. It's funny when I'll come across somebody I know, maybe a cousin, maybe whatever, and I'll walk up to them and say hello to them, and they'll look in my eyes, and I'll have to tell them, and then they'll be like, "Oh my God, yeah, it is you." Like,
Oh my.
that's you. Yeah, like there's nothing. I don't change anything. I'm just me.
Right.
Now, so like I said, some of the things, like when you're walking into a big room, you got to portray a little bit. You got to do,
Right. You
some of
become
the
big.
things.
Right.
The kids are expecting that, right? Like,
Right.
the bells are jingling, and you're waving away your ho ho and whatever. But when it comes to just talking to them, and I find, now going into my third year, I've been very, very blessed that I've got a few different clients now that I've had for the last 2 years, and are going into the third year. And even looking back to last year, the difference of the visit compared to first year to second year,
Yeah.
um, I did some changes to my wardrobe, and I got a designer beard and everything, a little nicer stuff. Um, but I see, I'm not rushing the kids through, right?
No.
Before I was like, okay, I gotta go, I gotta go, right? And now it's like, no, whatever. If I'm here for an hour, if I'm here for an hour and a half, I don't care, whatever. Like, it's just, I don't care. Like, let's just
Well,
make
I
sure
look
that.
at it as, because sometimes I have 10-hour days and it gets very long and I get very
Oh yeah,
tired. But I tell, it's too bad for me because I've got to talk to the children.
yeah,
And I need to create this for them. I'll get over it. I'll find my energy somewhere tomorrow, you
yeah,
know. So I just keep that, like Betsy has just said, what you are saying is important. Children truly want to be listened to and accepted for who they are. It sounds like you meet them where they are at, which
yeah,
is super important.
yeah.
And just the fact that you pay attention to the child, because I've seen others that don't,
Hmm.
and just do their thing, but they're not really focusing on what's needed in front of them because
Yeah.
of the difference you can make. So thank you, Betsy. That is so important.
Yeah, like I
Um,
said, I always say I want to make sure that I'm portraying it and doing it to keep that magic, but I never want to be the reason why they lose that magic.
yeah.
There's that fine line, right?
Right.
And
And you
it's
know what? The
so
other thing you're creating, not only the ones that are starting to get a little bit older, but the ones that are older, you're giving them the gift back if they've had doubts and
yes,
for their families someday. So
yep,
they're gonna remember. They might, and not far, and they'll have their families, and that's something I really realized in the last couple years is creating that because I'll talk to the ones that are in disbelief or whatever, and I talk to them about your Christmas spirit. You can still have that. Nobody needs to know it, but you need to keep it in there for your future.
absolutely, yep,
whatever
Yeah.
happens.
Trust me, 53 years old, it's still there. You know, you can't,
I know, I
but
know,
it doesn't go away and it shouldn't go away. And if it does go away, I feel really bad for you because
I
there's no
know.
reason it, yes, I might be the big red guy and a big white beard and everything, but Santa Claus is in all of us. It's a piece of us. And it's not just one day of the year; it's all year long. And and not saying any of us are perfect by any means, and we all don't live by that motto. But if we can try to,
You're
then I
right.
think the world is a better place, right?
So let's go back to when you you did a lot of volunteering at your work or at your with the children at school.
Yes.
Let's kind of start me from there. This whole journey that you've taken, and who might have came into the journey, if you know what
Okay. Well, that's the fun of it all. So I was on parent council at my daughter and son's school, who they now have long gone past. And I was on midnights working. I was just an auto worker, and I just wanted to be involved and be there, to help the kids and just do anything I could. And they used to do this thing, this Christmas bazaar or whatever they called it. Anyways, it just got to be monotonous. I didn't like it at all. Was not happy being involved in it. It just turned into, how do we make money at Christmas? And I was like,
Yeah.
why are we making money at Christmas? Like, you can make money every other month, every other day at Christmas. So we had a fantastic principal at the time. And I said, listen, why don't we bring in Santa? We're not going to do this. We're going to do like a Christmas parade, whatever you want to call it. You can call it whatever you want, but we'll have Santa come. He can sit. We'll make a display. And I said, I'll do it. Because I had a suit. I had played Santa for nieces and everything else over the years, just here and there. And I said, I'll do it. No big deal. I'll have my wife take pictures, and next day we'll have them, shoot them off the Costco. Boom, here's the pictures. Next day, everybody gets a Christmas card, from your parent council. Here's your little Johnny with Santa. Merry Christmas. And I said, yeah, it's a win-win, right? So he was like, yeah, if you're willing to do it, go for it. So I came home and I looked at my wife and I'm like, oh my God, what did I do? Right? Because now it's like
Oh,
these kids all know,
yeah.
I've got kids that have nicknames for me at the school because I was there way too often. So, Uncle Jimmy and Mr. Jim and Mr. whatever, right? I've got.
Right.
So I'm like, okay. And it goes back to that. I don't want to be the one who screws up this for a kid, right?
Right.
So I said, you know what? I got to find somebody. We've had some really good ones over the years. I'm going to find a guy to come and, who cares? I'll just pay for it. I won't tell them, just to prove it, we'll do it. And I'll just take the pictures. So here I go online and stuff, and I go on Kijiji, of all places, and I see this ad for Windsor Santa. And I'm like, there is no way that this is real. Like, this guy, there's no way. No way. So I was like, whatever, I'm going to call him. Boom, boom, boom. I get on the horn, and you get, hello, this is Santa. I'm like, what? Who is this, right? And, his name is Dr. Bruce, right? And or Santa Bruce. And I'm like, oh my God. I'm like, okay, you sound legit, but is this really you? And he's like, that's who I walk in, that's who I am, right?
Wow.
So
Wow.
I'm like, okay, fine, you're hired.
You
I'm
hit
gonna
the
give it a shot.
jackpot with that.
Yeah. So I'm just like, okay, I'm swimming or sinking on this one, right? So Christmas Day comes, or well, it wasn't Christmas, it was a week before Christmas, whatever it was, right? We had set the date, and I had told him, park down the road at a park, and I will come and pick you up. At the time I had a big SUV, so I'm like, we're gonna make this like Santa's coming to town, right? In a Cadillac Escalade, right? So I go and I pick up Santa, and I get to his car, and he gets out, and I'm just like, oh. And I'm just like, are you kidding me? And he just, being him, just, soaked it all in, but just, humble as ever. Gets
Yep.
in my car. I take him to the school. Well, just before I even left,
So
everybody's
you
like,
were just in awe. Were you like, I have Santa Claus?
oh
I'm
yeah,
bringing.
no, I picked up Santa. Like I don't know.
Wow.
I'm looking for reindeer, elves, whatever, because I just picked this guy up, and like he's real, right?
He is so
So
wonderful, I gotta
yeah,
say.
and so I pick him up. But just before I had left, though, all the teachers were like, "Oh, you going to change? You going to change? Yeah, yeah, I'm going to change." So here I go out the door. Even the principal, okay, go change. Yeah, I'll see you in 5 minutes, right? And then here I come and I roll up and I get out of my truck at the front door. I open the door for him and he gets out and everybody's like just in,
Wow.
right? And they're all like looking at me and looking at him and looking at me and they had no clue like what the hell's going on here, right? So we go in, we set him up. I knew we had set up. I had brought our Christmas tree from home, my 6 foot nutcracker, my 4 foot nutcracker. Like I had everything set up, right? I had my easel set, my thing for my camera. I had everything, lights. We tried to do it like professionally, right? So here he is. We sit him down. I've got the camera set up. Start bringing the kids in, and just like one after another, dude. Just like I've got old video. He would take time. He'd stop and sing a song with them, and I'm like,
Oh man.
and he even pound out songs like this. Like there's no way
You
this is happening,
you
right?
got a guy that like performs at Carnegie Hall.
Yeah,
You're
like,
like,
and I had no clue, right? I don't
yeah.
know him. He don't know me, right?
Wow.
Like I had teachers, the cool teachers coming in and melting, turning into like little 5-year-olds, sitting next to him and
That's
just
so
staring
awesome.
at him like, and he's talking to them and they're like just mumbling, right? It was awesome. It was just so yeah. So that's how it all started, anyways. And even me, when we in between classes, I would go and sit and I would fanboy on him, just staring at him, and I'm trying to figure out like what this is. And I go, is this all real?
I
And
would
he's
have
like,
done the same thing, Jim.
no.
I would
And
have
I'm
done.
sitting there trying to figure out like where does real and not real start and end. Like I said, it's hilarious because there's just the way he made me feel. I turned into a little boy, just like
See,
melting in
that's
his.
that's where we should all be at. That's what we should all strive to be like.
Mhm.
That when he can make adults behave like their 5-year-old selves,
Yes,
that's where we all need to be, I
yeah,
think, you know?
absolutely. Like if I don't like I said, if you could put that in a cup or a bottle and sell it, you'd be a billionaire.
Yeah,
That feeling.
that's so cool. So tell me what happened next. What happened after he left, or the next steps in this
So
journey?
we thank you. Yeah, like sorry, you're. I don't care what they're saying. You're hooked for next year. I'm bringing you back. Kind of a thing. Um, the school actually is like said, no, we're paying next year. Like we're and we're still doing it today. It's been
Wow.
since 2017, I think it was. And the
Wow.
only year that was different was the one year COVID shut everything down. So I got dressed up and I went room to room on the outside of the school and
Aw.
took pictures with the classroom with all the kids on the back window. What a weird time, right?
Yeah, that was
Other
weird.
than that, every year it's been him with us. Uh,
That's wonderful.
yeah,
So
so we
when
ended
did,
up meeting
yeah, go
because
ahead.
he said when he left, he's like, "Let's meet for coffee," and I'm like, "Yeah, yeah, awesome." So then he comes walking in. I'm like, "Oh, okay, this isn't you're a different guy."
So I want to know, was your wife there to see this, or did you go home and tell her this?
Oh no, no, she
I
was
wish
she
I could
was
have.
yeah. Diane was with me there. Yeah,
Oh,
she
so
was
she
involved
saw
in
it
the
all
whole thing.
happen
She
too then.
saw it all. Yeah. Oh yeah. And like my
Wow.
kids are just like, well, here's the most beautiful thing of it all. So my daughter was like, what is that? She's in grade 11 now, so she was maybe grade 2ish, kind of thing when this all started.
Yeah.
And so he's been her Santa, right, for all these years. So Dr. Bruce and his wife Jennifer came over for dinner in the wintertime, anyways, this year. He's never really been to my house. My wife and my kids have never really met him, other than we've had him for Christmas here many times. They've met him a million times in full garb, um, but never. I always hang out with him. We go for coffee quite often, and we chum around and take off and go places. But they haven't. So, anyways, my daughter was being very strange. And I was getting a little bothered by it because I was like, okay, like, yeah, you're 15, you're not 20, and why are you being rude, right? Because she wasn't, she was just sort of like, yeah, hi, and I'm like, be nice. You've never really met him, like, be nice to him. And she just went to her and did her own thing that night. And they left, and I went to her and I was bothered by it. And I said, Lauren, I don't appreciate the way you were. And she's like, Dad, I don't want to know him like that.
Ooh,
And I was like, oh my God, I get it.
I
She's
don't.
like,
Yeah.
he's my Santa. I don't want to know him as Bruce. So it was, and again, like, here I go again. But when your
That's a
daughter
tough
says that,
thing. That's tough. That-
yeah, like I said, that's the feeling that we're all trying to, somehow hone in on, figure out,
yeah.
to get that kind of a feeling, that kind of an emotional connection to a kid.
So
That
you watched him interact with the children, so you were able to see that he was making the magic with the children as much as what he was making you feel as the
oh
adult.
yeah, yeah, and
What a
every
learning experience for you
yeah,
too.
like that's the thing. It's like I like to call it my ultimate cheat code, having him in my corner,
Because some
because
of
it's
us
like
don't, yeah, some of us don't
it's
really
not
get to
fair.
watch
It's not
others
fair that I have
perform.
him as a
Yeah.
mentor. Like, he's the ultimate, uh, truly, to me, he's, you know, top of the heap. Like, and he's here. He's basically my neighbor, not far away.
That's fabulous. He's a good guy for sure and a great mentor. Um, we all love him. He's a good guy.
Yeah.
So tell me what happened. How'd you get yourself into, what was next for you, you know, after that?
So, well, basically, I was just going to continue being, Santa's photographer, right? Like, it was easy peasy. When we met for coffee, and during when we were doing the first shoot, I talked about, oh, I love being Santa, I love dressing up. I'm not you, but and he kept, oh, you should do it, you should do it. I'm like, oh, 20 years from now, maybe we'll talk about it, right? And then that, it was not long after that, he had called me and just asked me if I would be be willing to give him a hand.
Okay.
That's and I'm like, well, I don't notice. Do you really need it? And he was like, I'm stuck. I need you to do so. That first year, there was two different events that I did for him, and again, it was just horrible old suit that's been hand down from generations of my family, kind of thing. The old walrus beard, I call it, with the big hunky mustache,
Yep.
and like, to me, I'm walking out going, I look horrible, but to all these kids from 0 to 8, you're him, right?
Right.
And just the way the kids interact with you, like, and it's changed now that I've changed my look, and I've added to it. But even those initial first tries, just like I said, just helping them out, and it was.
It's a good way to get your feet wet, probably.
Oh, it was beyond getting my feet wet. It was like, I always say to him, like seriously, like, you threw me into the fire, because the
Oh,
one was 250 people in a church hall,
yeah, you
and
did.
yeah,
Yeah.
and it was like they were different nationality,
Oh,
and
wow.
the kid. Oh, this is the best part. The one kid says, Santa, why do you drive a Cadillac Escalade? And I'm like, where'd you see this? And I saw you park it out back, and I'm thinking, and I'm like, you do understand Santa can't fly everywhere. Eh? I have to go to the
Right.
airport.
Perfect. Yep.
And he's like, why? I go, I'm only allowed to fly anywhere on Christmas Eve. I said, but I go to the airport and they have a car ready for me. I said, did you see the car they gave me?
Yeah.
How sweet
Perfect.
is that? And all of a sudden he's like, oh yeah, Santa. And then it's one of these kids, Santa's got an Escalade.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it was the funniest thing. Like, it's just one of those things that stays with you, that you laugh about. And it's funny how you got to be on your toes with these kids, right? Because the stuff they'll
That's
come out
right.
with is like, okay, this wasn't in the brochure. I'm not sure how to answer this one, right? But yeah,
Okay, with that, I would like to go to our commercial break. It's already past. Can you believe that? 7:42. So let's do our commercial break, and then we're going to come back and We're going to talk about some stuff about being a new Santa.
Okay.
And we do have a story I'd like you to, after that, probably to talk about. So,
Sounds good.
Angela, if you could um, show our sponsors. Thank you. Okay, thank you to all the people that help us have this show. We appreciate all of you. And if you need some boots, Caboose is the place to order them from. That guy is a wonderful man. Um, it looks like we have a comment from Betsy. I think this story truly shows the power of community and also mentorship. Dr. Bruce saw something in Jim and truly supported your Santa journey. Inspirational, for sure. Thank you, Betsy.
Well, to me, it shows that there truly is a higher power, because there's no way in the world that me and him should have ever met. Reality.
Yeah,
We're totally different people, totally different. He's a professor. He's so, his music and everything else.
right.
We wouldn't have ever met. There's no reason for us to have ever met. And yeah, so it's
Isn't
pretty
that
awesome.
amazing? It's
Yeah.
amazing. Yeah.
And everything on my Santa journey has been chance meetings, right place, right time.
And you know
Uh,
what? I've said from the beginning of mine, I have no idea what's happening to this all. I don't know what is going on, but I'm just
oh,
going to go
I'm
with
on a
it.
freight train. Just hook up and go.
Yeah, and I don't know where it's headed. I just go with it and do what's right, and as much as I know, it's just crazy.
Well,
So,
this is going from a year ago, walking up beside you, seeing you at in Tennessee, and seeing your show many many times, and then all of a sudden going up to you, almost sort of make eye contact and do because I can't talk to you, like I fanboyed on you. So I'm like, oh geez,
it's
here we go.
so
This is great.
cute.
And then back, you're calling me to say, hey, let's talk, and I'm like, okay.
When you, that is so funny. Yeah, I'm so sorry. I didn't just stop and talk, but it's crazy, right?
What? What are you going to stop and talk? What are you looking at me? Are you weird?
I would have talked. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you. That is so sweet. Yeah, and you start. I don't even know. It's hard to even describe what we do and the people around us to someone.
Yes, it's hard.
It's hard because
Yeah.
I was just with Betsy in South Carolina around many educated theater people and all kinds of people, and we'd have to introduce ourselves, and I was like, I don't even know where to start,
Yeah.
and we just usually look at each other and we kind of, I don't know, it's
Well,
hard, but
usually now when I say what I do to people, and like I've never called it a job. It's definitely not a job.
no,
And but when I'll say what I do, they're always like, ha, okay, oh, yeah, okay, sure, yeah, it's that. Oh,
yeah,
nice white beard, yeah, sure, okay.
they have
And then
no
it's like,
clue.
here's on my phone. Take a look at the picture, and they're like, that's you.
Yeah, yeah. So tell me when you started the first time, do you remember back at your first time that you performed like for Bruce, at that point? Or
Yes.
not the one that I would like you to talk about, but just like first time you put the suit on and you were doing the 250 people or whatever it was, I don't know.
Yeah.
What were you thinking? How did it feel to put that all together? When did it feel like you were Santa when you did that?
Those first times gave me all the feels. Sure. Okay.
Yeah.
Um, I loved it. It was sucking me in, but I was still like, yeah, I'm still 25 years away. That's fine. Yeah, I'm not him, but that's okay. I can do this. Um, it's been the last couple of years that I've really, especially last year, that's when it really started clicking. Um, the Before that, like I said, I totally enjoyed it. I got all the feels out of it. It was a lot, a lot taken on. There's so much emotion, feelings. You're swaying both ways. You're getting kids that are rambunctious. You get the kids that are just melting in your hands. Like the little babies. Like
Yeah.
like you get all, like I said, you get all the feels, right? And so it definitely starts sucking you in, right? Piece by piece, it starts sucking you in. And but it wasn't until 2 years ago, when it was after COVID, and hadn't done anything to help him. We, continued talking and being friends, but he had called me and said, "Listen," and I believe he got sick, and he had just said, like, "Listen, I've got a couple things, and I need help, and can you do it?" And I'm like, "Okay, yeah, I guess I'll do it." Like, "Oh, I'll help you out." I can never say no to him, right? So,
Yeah, I know.
and, but he said at that point, he's like, "Listen, Jim, like, um, I need somebody to help me. Like, not just today. And it's you. I want you. I need you. Will you do
Wow.
it?" And
Wow.
I'm like, "Ugh." So I said, it was sort of like, "Give me a moment. Let me think about this," right? So of course I talked to my wife, who's my biggest cheerleader that I have.
It's
And
wonderful.
she's like, "Well, then call him back and you tell him he's hooking you up with the suit guy, the beard guy, and like if you're doing this, do it." And I'm like, "Well, that's how I do things. I don't go half-fast on things."
Right?
So I called him back and I'm like, "Okay, we need to make some phone calls. Who's your suit from?" So boom, I'm gone to Michigan to see Sam, at Santa and Company. Down to Tennessee, I took off 9-hour drive and went to see Heather to get fixed up for my wig. Like, the first year I didn't get the wig, but the first year was the suit. Um, and the beautiful thing on that first year was, Santa Bruce gave me one of his first elk or yak hair wigs and beards
Yep.
to use. And so that was pretty awesome, because he was like, "Hey, listen, come here, I got something for you." And he gives me a box. He's like, "Take it home and play with it. Figure it out." I'm like, "Okay." So, so I took it home. Obviously, a lot bigger, than me, but we made it work for that first year. And but just the difference in people, the way they were looking at me with this nice, beautiful new custom suit,
Yeah.
a nicer uh, wig and everything. I said, that's you start getting pulled in, right? You just, little by little, it's like, okay, this is starting to, and then it's like, well, now I got to get my own full set, the full wig, the full beard, and that's when I put the beard on. It's one thing, the mustache, and then I throw that wig on and I look up into the mirror. That's like, oh
That's your
my god,
moment, right? When you're, yeah.
yeah,
I know
wow,
when
now I'm
Dr.
hooked.
Bruce puts his boots on, that's what he always says, lacing up the boots is the act of
Yeah.
becoming. With me, it's my wig too.
Yeah. See
So,
me, I put the pants, and I wear a fat, like a belly suit that I
okay.
made for myself. So I do that because I get into the mood that now I'm like sweating, right? So
Yep.
I can't put on too much. So it's like, okay, now that I'm not over too many coats, I put the boots on right away. So the boots never do it. It's the wig
Yep.
and it's the belt for me. Those
Okay.
two things are my, yeah,
Yeah.
because both of those things, the wig is when I'm done downstairs in I have my Santa room. so because I'm weird.
No, we have
Yeah, I
one of
put the
them right
wig on,
now. Yep.
and I'm looking at, and I'm like, here I am. I'm him. And then I come upstairs, get the boot, the coat on, because I usually leave it upstairs because I don't want to be lugging it around, and the belt's up here. And then so you're not paying attention. You're doing everything. You're hooking things up. You put the belt on, and then that's when I look in the mirror, and there it is.
Wow.
There's
Yeah.
that moment again.
Yeah. That's crazy. I don't even know. To listen to you makes me so happy because this is what it's all about. You feel it. The pressure, like the responsibility we have to these children.
Yeah.
It's way more than people understand that don't do this.
Yeah, you can't explain it, and that's the thing. Even when
Yeah.
you try to explain to people, what you do, whatever. Everybody just thinks you're at the mall sitting there and just pounding out pictures, and it's not.
And it's not
That's
just the
not.
children, right? It's the grandmas
Oh my
that are
God!
that are having tears, or
Yes.
the grandpas that turn into little boys again and
I
remember
get
some
grandmothers that push their grandchildren out of the way to sit on my lap. It's
Yeah,
hilarious.
I know. We do have that too. Yeah, they
Yeah.
pushed me out of the way to see Santa. I'm like, listen, whatever.
Oh yeah.
But
No, it's
yeah,
awesome.
that is so cool. So, let's see. Oh, I know what I was going to say. Um, One other thing that we're talking a lot about Bruce, but he's taught us a lot, all of us.
Hmm.
Um, and I really thought about this year when I was in the musical Mary Poppins, about how we walk in our shoes, because if you have different shoes up, it just feels so off. Um, I was traveling with Dr. Bruce and Betsy and Mike, and we did a show, and I had different shoes on. Kind of freaked me out
Yeah.
because it felt differently when I walked in my
Yeah.
character. So that's how much we think about all these details to make it perfect, to make it work, and so if you're becoming a new Santa or Mrs. Claus or an elf, think about all these things, the way you walk in your shoes, and make sure that you are in, if you're rehearsing or you're doing anything like that, put those shoes on and walk in them and feel what that feels like. There's a reason that people that are on stage rehearse in those shoes, even if they don't have costumes on.
Hmm.
It all works together. Um, Details matter, definitely. Um, so tell me about the one thing, the story that I would love for you to tell everybody that made me, get the feels for you
Like
too.
this.
Like,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. Tell me
Okay.
about this.
That's why we leave it to the end, right?
Yeah, we're leaving it to the end.
So as I say when I talk about being thrown into it and thrown into the fire, my very first time I was asked by Santa Bruce to help him was for um, a woman, and she was young actually, but I think she was late 30s, maybe 40ish, and she had terminal cancer, and she only had a few days to live. And her dying wish was to have one last Christmas together with her kids, her two children. She had a boy and a girl. The son, I believe, was 9. Daughter was 14ish, 13ish. Um, so Bruce had gotten the phone call asking, and he already had other things going on. I believe he was in the midst of his Christmas pops and everything else because it was just days before Christmas.
Yeah.
So he asked me, he's like, listen, would you do this for me? And I'm like, and that was the first time. Like, me and him didn't even, like, we went out for coffee once, right? And I'm like,
So this was the before you had been really performing anything much.
this was 2017, 2018, the
Oh,
first year
wow.
or the
I didn't
second year
realize
that I
that.
had him at the school.
Okay.
Yeah, like, never done anything except for play it on Christmas Eve, come down for my nieces and hand them presents and beat it, right? Like, that's,
Okay. Okay.
I had never done anything else.
Well,
He knew I had the suit. He knew I had a beard, like a designer beard, not a great one, but it worked. I had a pair of boots because that's the one thing I'm a stickler for. You have to have boots. If you want to be a new Santa, just please buy boots. Don't wear boot covers.
No.
That's my only thing. Other than that, do your thing. Just don't wear boot covers.
Yep.
But I had boots, and so I reluctantly said, well, because I was like, well, I can't say no either. Like, geez, like this is kind of big, right? So I said yes, and it was like it's tomorrow night. It's not you got a couple weeks to think about it. It was like it's happening. So I get everything together. That morning, I hear on the news they're talking about it, and I'm like, oh, geez, what did I get myself into, right? So I get to the somebody had called me, whatever. You're going to do it, yeah, yeah, no problem. Okay, I'll have somebody meet you. So somebody meets me at the front door of the hospital. We go through everybody, of course, Santa. I'm like, hi, how are you? Like doing my thing, just being a ham, because that's all. At this point, I'm like, I'm just going to ham it up, just whatever. I don't know what you do, right? Like,
Right.
right? This is all new to me. So I walk into a room of probably 50 people or whatever, and the newspaper's there and all kinds of other stuff. And here's the two kids and the husband, and they're taking pictures. Next day, we're on the newspaper, the whole bit, right? So somebody pulls me aside. We're going to have you go into the room with her, with the kids, just share a moment with her and stuff. I'm like, okay, all right, so we do that. Had a nice little talk. It was sad. It was beautiful. It was all the above, right? Um, we come back out, taking more pictures with the kids, and so I do oh, come on, let's sit down here. So what do you want for Christmas? And the daughter does her thing, and then the little boy comes, and I'm just shooting a breeze with him, just have a nice conversation, and then I'm like, so what do you want for Christmas? And he says, and this is where it hits.
That's okay. Take your time.
I just want my mom to be okay.
Man. And so early you doing this and to
Yeah.
hit
And I have no clue how I kept it together.
yeah.
I don't know what I said to the kid. I really have no clue. I said something that was profound because as I walked out, people are coming up to me, thanking me for what I said, thanking me for being there, thanking me, oh my God, how you handled that. And I'm like, what did I don't even know what I did. And I continued, I go out, down the hall, and I'm still, hey, how you doing? I'm saying, all right, having a great time. I get to my car, and all of a sudden I just pull the hat off, and I just start bawling. And I mean, if I didn't sit there for 10 minutes bawling, I didn't sit there for anything. Like it was just, I could not stop.
Yeah.
And I was like, and in the minute, I'm thinking, what the hell just happened, right?
Yeah.
And then I stopped, I cleared up the tears, and I was like, oh yeah, I got to do this more often. This is awesome.
Yeah.
There ain't no drugs like that. I'll tell you. It's unbelievable. That high and low, and it just
That's
it was
why
everything there.
if you're doing it, it's so hard. It can be so hard. It can be so wonderful, back and forth. But at the end of the season, that's why a lot of us are like, I'm
Drained.
exhausted.
Oh yeah,
After Christmas, I just sit there. I don't. I watch Twilight Zone for like a marathon 2 days or something. I just can't because I think it's when you give it all to what you're doing, and that's what you're doing, and that's what you did.
yeah.
That's
It's
impact,
yeah. Yeah, and that's going to stay with me forever. That's always going to be, one of those moments that, you know, you can't pretend, you can't fake that, and there was no way to know it. There's no way, and like that's why I always say he threw me right into the fire. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, that's my
Um,
first time.
what a special gift you gave that mom and the children. That was
Yeah,
huge.
and she
It warmed
passed
my
just a
heart.
few days after that, and it was yeah. To be allowed to have been part, even a little piece of that,
Yes.
was awesome. And like I said, I've got the newspaper printout still. It was in the newspaper the next day, and and the kids were sitting there with me smiling, and even though everything was going on, and they knew it was happening, and
You
but
hit the
just
ground running basically with
oh
your
yeah, like I said, and like I said, this is 2018, so nothing else has happened since then. There was many years that nothing well, we hit COVID, so obviously there wasn't a lot of stuff going on, and then 3 years ago, of course, he came in and said, "Okay, let's do it again. Let's get the band back together, right?"
So, I'm losing my voice. Keep talking. Tell us another story so I can get my voice back, please.
Now I'm out. Now I'm all you gave me. You got me right to the last one.
What's next? Tell us about what's next for your season. How about that?
Okay. Well, so like I said, everything's just been like a snowball, to use a nice little Christmas pun. Um, Chance meetings, chance people being in a certain spot, finding out there's a need for a Santa. Next thing you know, my phone rings, and making lifelong contact, friends, and helping people, and it's been awesome. This year, I'm going to actually do a parade and a tree lighting, which is I'm pretty excited about. So that's maybe not so exciting for my wife, because of course then she's like, well, you might as well go get a parade coat made. You might as well go get a new suit. So now I'm 2 suits into this thing, and that rabbit hole, right? New parade coat, and it never ends.
So your season is full. Is that correct? Pretty
No,
much?
no,
Or not yet?
no.
No? Oh,
and
okay.
and I don't want it to be. I love just having stuff going on, and I'm really trying to allow it to be very organic, how it happens. And so far, everything that I've had started, thankfully, with Santa Bruce. He got me, a couple contacts, and then, like I said, another one was a friend at a dentist's office, of all things, overhearing the girls talking about, we should get Santa here. Wouldn't that be cool? And she's like, I know the guy here. Call this guy. I'm in Florida on vacation. My phone's ringing. I'm like, it's the dentist's office. I don't even know who this
It
is.
always happens.
And they're like, is this Santa? And I'm like, yeah, sure. This is Santa, right? What do you need, right? And that's turned into an amazing opportunity. And then from there, a girl who worked there, her mother is on a BAA. Now it's
Word of mouth, right?
it's like a snowball. And then
That's
from
what
there,
happens.
that BAA told another BIA in the same community, we got this guy, give him a call. Now got another thing going on.
You're going to be so busy. It's going to be insane.
It's fun.
Whenever Betsy and I go on vacations or whatever, work trips, calls start coming in. It's the weirdest thing. And I don't know if it's two energy of magic together or something, but we just always are looking at each other like, oh my God, I just got another gig, or agents are calling, or newspapers, or whatever. It's insane.
Well, the greatest thing, like I just got a phone call last week, and it's a place that I've done now this is going to be my 3rd year, and just keeps getting better. And again, probably about 150 people or whatever. And the first year they hired me for 2 hours, and 45 minutes I was done, right? And I'm not the kind of guy that wants to hang out and try to find something to do. Santa's got a job. I did my job. I got toys to deliver. I got to go back. I got people to see. And 5-year-old, and I do that because 5-year-old me would have been like, Santa, you got to go. Like, we got our pictures. You got to go. You got stuff to do. You're not hanging around doing stuff. Like, let's go, right?
Right.
So, and they came up to me and they're like, yeah, no, go. You're fine. And I'm like,
Good.
okay, but you hired me for 2 hours, right? And and she's like, don't worry about it. You're good, right? And they still paid me. So then when the next second year for last year, I said, okay, well, we know it's 45 minutes, so we'll just book you for an hour. And they're like, no, you're 2 hours. I'm like, but it's not going to be. They're like, that's fine. Again, so last year was 50 minutes.
Yeah.
And again, off I went. So this year, he just called me last week, and I said again, I go, okay, just an hour? And he's like, no, you're 2 hours. You're good. We have you set forever.
That's so nice.
So, and it's stuff like that. It's not the biggest thing, but it sure makes you feel like you obviously did something right.
Definitely.
Yeah,
So Don on here says, memories are the greatest gift to give. Things break, wear out, get lost, and at some point in time, they lose their importance to those who carry on after us. But memories, especially good ones, last a lifetime. Very sweet.
Absolutely.
Thank you for typing that out. Let me see if we have. Jeff said, great conversations, Jim. Those are hard situations from before. Most of us have been there before, yeah.
Absolutely.
Bruce, Dr. Bruce, this is what makes Jim a great Santa. He creates a safe space. That's important. Listens and can share his empathy. These are Jim's gifts. Let's see what. Thank you, Jim. That's very nice. Um, Santa Scott said Kaboots is where you can get some custom boots. So there you go for that. And they will make any kind of design you want uh, and work with you on it. I do know that. Dave Thomas said the 3B's boots, first thing a child sees at their level, belt,
Yep.
and the eyes move up and then beard. Good point.
Yep. That's it's that, and it's 100%. They walk up to you, and it's a lot of them are shy, right? And that's what they look up, and it's the boots is the first thing they see. And I've got custom beautiful with the SC on the side and the bells, and they're gorgeous, and they fit wonderfully, and they're
That is
comfortable.
important too. The fit is important.
Yeah.
And I've noticed that with my own because I had everything tailored last year, finally. And in the pictures or in the back views of me walking with Santa and things, it looks so much better.
Yeah.
So if you can do that, it didn't cost that much to have a tailor take in some things, shoulders and things like that. It is worth doing,
Yep.
definitely. Um, I'm just kind of going through all the comments. Um,
Yeah. I've been lucky to get with some really good people on, and allow myself to overspend, but to get what I want. Like I said, to be the Santa that little me wants to see, right?
right, that's definite. You have to be comfortable with that character. Um, and what would you suggest to start out if somebody was starting out? Where, and they don't have a lot of money to begin with, but they want to get their feet wet doing this.
Yeah. Well, like I said, you definitely have to know that's what you want, right? And you have to be doing it for the right reasons. It's I always think of it as it's not something I'm here to do to make money. I'm not going to become rich doing this, but I'm going to become rich spirit, right?
Okay. Yeah.
Because the money that I've already shelled out, I'll never get back. You can ask my wife that. But even my first suit was just an old $49 suit from Walmart, of all places,
Okay.
right? And it doesn't have to be fancy. I ended up, the belt that they had was kind of, so I bought a little nicer belt, not great.
Right.
Um, the boots that I bought, again, just, off Amazon, you don't have to be crazy. They don't last, I'll be first to tell you. But if that's where you have to start, then that's where you have to start. But you want to make sure you're at least hitting those things. And same thing, like your beard and your wig. The cheap ones are cheap. And that's just what they are. That's fine. And there's nothing wrong with that. But there's ways that you can, I actually started getting into and adjusting. The biggest thing you want to see is you don't want this, right?
Right.
If you can see mouth,
Yep.
it becomes more realistic. Even though it's the most unrealistic of beards, it becomes more realistic. So I got in there and I snipped a couple things and
Smart.
cleaned up, made a little, gave a little mustache, a little bit of, some curve, and the same thing, the wig and everything, just adjusted it, trimmed it a bit. Just
Plus, for pictures, you want to see the mouth too. I mean, when
yes,
you're taking the pictures, that just looks like a happier
yes.
Santa.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Like, so my original stuff, you didn't see it, but the reality is the kids didn't see it either. You know what I mean? Like that's the reality. At the end of the day, everything that I've spent my money on and stuff, and my suits and stuff, really is for me. Like, it's just that's what I want, right?
Uh-huh.
But the kids, if if it's coming out of you, if you're portraying it, if you're showing it to the kids, if you're just not there picking up a paycheck, the kids get it, you know.
Yeah.
And yeah, you're always going to get the teenager like, yeah, you're fake. Yeah, whatever. Go off.
I,
But now with my new suit, now they walk up and they're like, oh my god, right? Because now it's like, now you're thinking. Now I've got you where I want you, right?
you know what I get from the teenagers is they'll come up and say that I'm like girl boss, Mrs. Claus stuff, and
Yeah.
I'm like, why do whatever.
Oh yeah.
Uh-huh, because I guess I'm not just sitting there. There's more to it than that. Let me see if there's some really other big things I wanted to hit on to make sure. Um, okay. So I know that Scott said on here Planet Santa has a decent box suit too for Santas. So
hmm
that's somewhere that people could look
They're
too.
they're really like, honestly, like I said, even when I first started going on to TNL, watching some of the shows, going back into the archives, different shows. There's so much information. Um, I would always obviously pick the year of Santa Bruce. I reached out to Santa Tom, the guy
Okay.
from, I believe he's from Texas, whatever.
Yes, I love him. He's
I kept
wonderful.
seeing him on different things, so I
Yeah,
just
he's really good.
picked his year, and you know what? It was seconds. He was texting me back and all
Yep.
kinds of good information. The reality is there's a lot of really good people that are willing to
Yeah,
talk to you,
there
to
is.
tell you, give you, just give you a little advice, even if it's just a pat on the back, whatever, a little advice, or maybe try this. Everybody's tried. You don't have to go spend big bucks on boots. You can buy something. You can buy a belt and try to do some things to it. Um, just like my bags, I had my bags, so I went and bought a bunch of material. Now I don't sew, but my godmother sews.
Oh,
So
perfect.
I gave her my ideas, and I have to show you because this is what comes out of,
Oh my, wow.
right?
That is nice.
This is what comes out of your ideas, and you don't have to spend a lot of money to have. This is
Oh,
another
those are
one.
heavy duty too.
Oh yeah, right. But it's like you don't have to break the bank. And
Right.
and funny enough, when I was buying the material and all the filigrees and all the fancy little stuff, I was at a sewing place in Windsor here, and the women were all intrigued that I was Santa, right? And next thing you know, they're like, maybe we should, like, we do classes. We could maybe make you stuff. Like that could be part of our Christmas, like a Christmas
Nice.
class. I'm like, yes, right? There's so many things you can do, like obviously getting into suits and stuff is a lot different, but it's the little, once you have just a nice, if you have a nice suit that's clean, all right, um, you can add the little things like the
And
bag like that
yeah,
changes so much,
yes, it does. Yeah,
bells
yeah.
bells just sound, like it's sensory, right? So it's just not, they're not just staring at the one thing, they're hearing bells, there's voices, there's.
And you know what I've found is don't be shy. If people are interested in what you're talking about and what you do, um, don't be shy. They'll help you and they will make things.
Yeah.
I've got retirees that make things for me to give to kids. Um, and they love to do that. I've already been supplying them with supplies this
Oh
year,
yeah.
summer. Every time I go to the farmers market, I'm dropping off yarn to these ladies, and they're so wonderful. And
Well, my
some people,
godmother gets a kick out of it because she always says, "Oh, I'm,
oh, I
I'm Santa's
bet.
helper," right? So,
Yeah, yeah. Well, I named them elves.
yeah,
And when I do meet with them, and they put the elf stuff on it as I'm in costume. I just go and meet with all these retirees.
yeah.
But it's good for them to do too. So,
Oh,
if
absolutely.
you need more for what you're doing, don't ever be shy to ask and get help. And people want to be a part of this coolness. And
Yeah.
so there's that. So, um, anything else that we need to be telling new Santa? Okay, I know what I was going to ask you. Um, as you're getting ready for your season, um, what are some stuff that you may be doing to get into, just to prepare for the season, I guess you could say. Like myself, I start reading these million books I have over here, and as I do a show with Don about the books,
Yeah.
this is what I start really deep diving and reading the stories and refreshing my brain with this stuff. Um, Watching cartoons. Jeff and I, when Santa Claus is coming to town, he's in Ohio, I'm in Michigan, and we're texting each other. Are you watching it tonight? I mean, so
Well,
that
I've
we.
got it all on DVD and
Okay.
everything else, so that it's always gets played here every
Yeah.
year.
Yeah. But that's our background. I don't know what. Not everybody does that, but that is our background because then I can tell the families to watch the cartoon.
Yeah.
And as I tell the children, and that's where the story comes from, it just makes sense to me. But
Yeah, you can't watch them enough. It's just
no.
what it brings back from your childhood memories is just so awesome.
And I want
And the
those
fact that
stories to
they
continue.
were able to do that back then.
Yeah,
Like there's no AI back then, right? Like there's just keep moving the little guys, take a picture, like
I
whatever. It's
know. I
unbelievable.
my favorite. So, what do you do? Do you do anything other, other stuff, or I know you
Well, like
talk
I
to
said, it's
groups
hard
or
that being that I'm new, like I wouldn't say that I've got any like rituals. I definitely start thinking more that way. Well, this year obviously now is getting into calendars, right?
yeah.
Making sure that I'm where I've got to be because like last year my daughters had her Christmas dance recital the night that I was doing a 10-hour gig, and I got. Here's a funny story. I spent 2 days at this place with all these wonderful people, and they, I would eat with them. I would take my hat off, keep the wig and the beard and
Wow.
everything. I would eat with them. I would take my coat off so they saw the fat suit, and but I would have the boots, everything else on, and then I'd go back together, and here we go. We'd go back into it, right? And I did this for 2 days. So I had to get ready and leave to get into Windsor further downtown from where my daughter was having her recital. So I go and get out, I get undressed, I take everything off, I get my mustache part, I get everything, everything done. I clean up, I throw my hair together, I put on some clothes, I walk in to say goodbye. I walk in, they're having cheers and they're doing things all around a table and they're handing me a drink and I'm like, oh, okay.
Huh.
And then it was like, got to be a minute. They're just carrying on. And all of a sudden somebody went, oh my God, is that you? And I looked and then the one woman goes, you're young and handsome.
Well, good for you. You totally.
And I started laughing and there's no, that is not you. And I'm like, it's me. Right.
Good for you. That's
So
excellent.
yeah, so that was huge to me because for being with them for 2 days like that, and and they were awesome. I had such a good time, and again, I'll be doing it again this year with them, and yeah, so timing, trying to see like what's coming up and where do I need to be. That's huge. Um, and then just going through my stuff, like I spent a little time going through my wig and beard and everything, making sure that it's clean. I'm trying to figure out. I'm not good with styling it and stuff, so
Yeah.
I'm trying to again, and I'm going online. Google's a wonderful thing, or
Yeah.
any of the shows on TNL, anything that I can find um, beard care and hair care and everything else, uh, and same thing, going through my suits and making sure everything's good. I just finished. My aunt just finished one bag for me, and then I have another. I had a suit like a fat suit, right? A belly made. So it was an idea that I had with just a mesh shirt because the ones that I had before are so hot. So we
Oh,
used mesh and then made a zipper and like a pack in the front, and we fill it with tooling like that,
okay.
and it is so light, airy, but it gives me the size. And so that's something we made. So it's all little things like that. Like I'm always trying to figure out what I should do, what I need. Again, I ordered a new suit this year and a parade coat, and I got another belt buckle to. So it's always there's always something to do,
It's
something to
exciting.
see. It is. It's fun, right? And again, it's just my little. I'm in the basement there working on my stuff like I'm mad scientist, figuring things out.
That that's we all I have my props are sitting right here and
Yeah,
the new puppets and everything is ready to go. I'll probably start my stuff deep dive in September because I try to do things before October before CW Howard so that
yeah,
because
you're into it.
once after we go to CW Howard hit the ground because start for some reason gets crazy after that. Dates
Yeah,
are flying in and I start in November, the beginning of November so far. So
yeah. So me, I'm the end of November so far, but we'll see how that works.
right.
And like I said, though, I'm not looking to chase anything. I like how things are happening. Um, at the same time, too, if there's something, if I hear there's something going on, like I'll happily like, hey, here I am. I guess I really need to start thinking though, some kind of a business card or something, and I'm not sure which way I want to go with it. And again, I always worry about that whole um, losing the magic with kids or somebody getting a hold of something. It's easy for me to say, hey, give me a call, and it's just me and you talking. It's another thing if I hand you a picture and go, here's my phone number, and then my phone starts ringing. Santa, is that you? Right? Like,
Yeah, I've had that happen before. Um, I hand out the cards. I haven't really, but I've got Mrs. Claus on here,
yeah.
and
And
then
that's what I'm thinking of is a nice picture of myself. Some of the pictures like I've sent you, I got a couple nice ones that I think that
you
um,
need to run those
show
together.
me.
Well, the QR goes to my Mrs. Claus Vintage page, so it's still safe for children. I have my real name over here, kind of
Yeah.
smaller, but I haven't had any issues.
And that's the
And
thing. Like I have my Facebook page, like Santa Nicholas James, and so that's the only. I've never really gotten too much, but I've got some traction with that, so
yeah.
that's good.
Well,
So
the
maybe
thing
I could
is,
do
like,
that, but you could go to that.
when I'm in the market, and there's thousands of people, whatever, photographers coming up to us, and other jobs coming up to us. So I don't want to miss out on. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm little Miss Businesswoman making deals, everything. Um,
Something else I'd found. I just found some of these
oh,
Merry
nice.
Christmas gold coins that I thought were really cute, and I thought, you know what, I'm gonna start. I need to make myself or have a bag made that I can just have some of these. There's always, and I don't want to hand them to everybody. I
No,
want them to be a little more special, but there's always three or four at every event that it's
no.
just like, oh, I want to just squeeze you. You know what I mean? So you'd love to give them something again, and again, that's just one of those things that little me would have been like, oh my god, oh my god,
The
oh my
one
god.
thing that I would like something like that for is the babies, because I want them to keep coming back to
Yes,
whoever I'm
absolutely.
working with, and we'll be there.
Through the years,
Yeah, and so I think that it would be really special to give to those little babies. So
yeah.
let's run your pictures, Angela, um, and then we'll head into the next end of the show.
Okay.
Well, we're at the end of the show, and I have a question, the last question for you. What would 5-year-old Jim think if he could see you now?
I don't know. I think he'd think it's pretty cool, number one.
Yeah.
And because 5-year-old me, there was no such thing as these designer beards. It's either you had it or you didn't, right? Um, yeah, it's just that's a hard one to really put in words because
I think
I know that I would be very happy of what my future holds.
nice.
But obviously, I did something right along the way.
Yeah, you did. You surely did. Um, I will say that my 5-year-old self would have said, looking at myself now and what I do, that you're one of the good people. You're one of
Hmm.
the good people, You're doing it.
We try.
Yeah. So,
Nobody's perfect.
yeah.
Trust me, I've got a long
No,
list.
not at all.
I try to make up for it, man.
That's why, when I'm working with Jeff, he keeps me in line and whatever. I get a little sassy or whatever. So tell me some closing thoughts on this show and maybe something that you would tell a new Santa or a Mrs. Claus or entertainer that's wants to start.
Well, like I said, it's this. This really blows my mind that I'm even on this because this is just a couple years ago. This is where I started. I was sitting there in the watching, and when somebody would go, "Oh," and Jim Barrette's watching, I'd be like, "Oh, geez," and I'd try to like, "How do I get out of here?" Like, am I supposed to be here? Is this a private club? I'm not sure.
That's so
Um,
cute.
but like you just there's so much information. There's so many wonderful people, and there's so many things that you can. The internet's so amazing, right? It's good, it's bad, but whatever, right?
Right.
Do the best you can with it. There's so much on here that any question you have, if you can't find it yourself, there's somebody that you can anywhere. I'm sure you could go down this list of people that are watching right now and private message somebody, and you'd probably get a phone call right back from them to tell you anything you want to
Yes,
hear.
you would.
And,
Definitely. We've got good people on here.
yeah,
Definitely.
and because I know darn well I did it a million times to Santa Bruce. So, right. Um, and he didn't know me for nobody, and he took a chance on I took a chance on him, and he took a chance on me, and look where it worked out, right? And like the two of us, I couldn't ask for a better mentor or friend.
Yeah, that's fabulous. And I've heard such good things about you. And Jim, I really, really appreciate you being on here today and sharing so much of yourself. Um, I think that somebody watching this and listening to everything, some of the stuff you've experienced and the way you feel about things, I mean, this might be what somebody needs that wants to do this. It might be their push to do good things too, that we all hope.
Yeah, like I
So,
said, you don't. Doesn't have to be this. Has to be a certain age, a certain size, a certain this, a certain that. We can all do it, and but you have to. It has to be in you. Like it's not fun. Like to say, it's not some
hard
crazy
work,
job. It's
right?
it's it's hard. There's some days that are. It's hot. Some days, like there's one picture that was shown with me holding the baby. There was like 150 people in this place. Must have been 100. To me, it was 150 degrees. I was dying, but I had a great time. It was
Right.
so much
I know
fun.
you just too bad. Get over it. You got children to
Yeah.
see.
Like
There's no
I
time for
leave my
that.
house. I've got the windows cracked, but I've got the visors down because I don't want anybody to see me because my neighbors honestly, my neighbors have no clue except for one that I do this.
That's
It's
cool.
hilarious.
That's
I
cool.
share a driveway with somebody has no clue.
Wow.
Yeah, just one day I'm gonna just knock on their door, but
Yeah, you should.
yeah, right.
That's
But
that's
like I've got the air conditioner cranked. Like, you know, it's just
So mentors
um,
are really important. There's lots of
yes.
people to reach out to. You can reach out to me, anybody that would ever have a question. If it's
And
on
me,
YouTube,
I'm an
yep,
open book. I'd love to if
yeah,
somebody ever needed to ask a question or something. I no problem.
yep. And they can send me a message on YouTube or Facebook, whatever. Um, and like I always say everywhere in all the leadership, all this stuff I do, if I don't know, I'm going to help you find somebody that does know an answer for you. So
Yep.
we'll help you. Why not? We're
Yep.
here for each other, definitely.
And I have to say, like, not I keep mentioning Santa Bruce. Obviously, he's the big part, but because of him, I've now gotten you as a friend, and my Mrs. Claus, Betsy, and of course Mike Phineas. Like,
Yeah,
what a doll, what a great guy.
yeah.
Just love sitting there picking his ear. And I actually one day went out towards his way, and I gave him a call. I'm like, "Where are you home? Or you want to meet for
Nice.
coffee?" And I just dropped in for coffee. Best coffee in the world. I don't know how he does it, but he's got the
He's
best
an
coffee.
elf. He knows these things.
He's got it. He's got it right. And now of course Kevin, and so it's
Yeah,
just this
Kevin and
world that, like, and I keep
Tracy
saying
and
my
yeah.
snowball. The snowball just keeps getting bigger,
Betsy
and
and I
so
are
much.
always saying we are so lucky. We are so fortunate for the friendship group that we have, and we can love in all this and love everybody and everything, but man, when it gets down to the season, it's the best support group in the
Yeah.
world that could ever be because it gets really hard and we lean on each other and we do good stuff and we all rejoice in it. So very
We're all here for the kids. That's all it is.
it is
And
for the children.
yeah. So if you're got the right idea and you're doing the right things, it's all good. And like I said, my biggest thing though to take away for any new, don't be scared to be vulnerable. Just allow yourself to feel. Just take it all in. And if you cry, you cry. And if you don't, whatever. If you just be vulnerable.
Yeah.
Be 5-year-old you. There's
Yeah.
nothing better.
Yep. 100%. So with that, I'm going to close out the show. I want to thank Angela for doing everything and keeping us in line here and taking care of business. Um, and there she is. Thank you, girlie.
You're welcome. It
I'm
was
so happy I can lean on you. You just you just make it so much easier. It's so hard. Not so
She,
hard.
she
Sometimes it
makes the
gets
gears
hard.
keep moving.
Yep, she keeps it going for me. Um, Thanks to TNL and Bob and everybody. We love you guys. You're doing such a great job with the channel and everything. So,
Absolutely.
thank you, thank you.
one more thing, everything we do is for the children, the ones before us, beside us, and beyond us. Thank you, Jim.
Thank you so much.
Good night.
Good night.
Thank you.